Afternoon and welcome to Red Haddocks Field here on the east side of Bloomington. The Battle of Bloomington on the Diamond. It's the second of two meetings this season between the home team Kennedy and visitors Jefferson. Josh Powers along with our BEC-TV crew here on a Monday afternoon. 4:30 local time. This is the second batter of the top of the first. Jefferson leading off the game with a single to right field from Quinton Morris, who is on first base now and taking off for second. The throw down is in time, and they've got him. Ben Cradle with a laser down to second base, and the tag applied by Joe Jeans for Kennedy. And so the leadoff single from Morris ends with a throw out by the catcher Cradle and one away here in the top of the first for Kennedy. As the pitcher Anthony Shuddy delivers, and it's a pop fly to first. And Nico Lonman underneath it and makes the catch, and quickly 2 away for Kennedy after a promising start for Jefferson. And that'll bring up the third batter in the order, Addison Elcombe. And he will be the pitcher for Jefferson in the bottom half of the first. So pitcher versus pitcher right here as that one just misses the outside corner. The lineup for Jefferson: Quinton Morris, the center fielder, wearing number 13. Owen Campbell, second base, wearing number 2. Elcombe currently at the plate here on this 1-0 delivery. And he sends it into straightaway center field. Gilbert Lopez right there. And Kennedy retires Jefferson in order. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We will quickly go to the bottom half of the first. We'll get you the rest of the lineups for both Jefferson and Kennedy when you come back to Red Haddocks Field here, the Battle of Bloomington, Jefferson and Kennedy. Back here at Red Haddocks Field, and between the top and the bottom half of the first, no score. Going to run down the lineups for both teams. We'll start with Jefferson and their lineup today. We mentioned Morris, Campbell, and Elcombe, who's the pitcher. Nick Getters, he wears number 8. He's out in left field. Bennett McCullough is the shortstop, wearing number 12. Zeke Krug is the third baseman, wearing number 1. Carter Hansen wearing number 5, the designated hitter. Carter Beck is the catcher, wearing number 23. Matt Thompson out in right field, number 10. And Jake Zozel is the first baseman, wearing number 11. We'll see Kennedy do up here in the bottom half of the first inning. Gilbert Lopez, their leadoff batter, the center fielder, wearing number 1. John Kern is their shortstop, batting second, wearing number 11. Kyle Kenzemius bats third. He's the left fielder, wearing number 15. Nico Lonman, we saw him make that put out at first base, wearing number 19. He bats cleanup. Shuddy is the pitcher, batting fifth, wearing number 24. Then Joe Jeans is the second baseman, wearing number 2. Devin Barnum is the designated hitter, wearing number 12. Jonah Smallfield, wearing number 18. He's out in right field. Ben Cradle is the catcher. He wears number 10, and Caleb Vanderbeek is the third baseman for Kennedy, wearing number 9. So those are your lineups. As stepping in, Gilbert Lopez for the Kennedy Eagles, who check in this season at 3-9. Jefferson 8-5. And the Jaguars did win the earlier meeting between the two teams as that pitch misses outside. That was a 4-2 final back on April 28th over at Dred Scott. The 1-0 delivery just misses low from Elcombe. 2-0 to the leadoff hitter for Kennedy. Was rain a little bit earlier, maybe about 15 minutes ago. Not sure if it's still drizzling outside, but if it is, it's very light rain. As that went in there for the first strike of the game for Elcombe. Could be intermittent rain throughout the afternoon, so we'll keep our eye on that as we go on. Three and one here, Elcombe to the leadoff hitter Lopez. Big swing and a miss, so it's a full count to the leadoff batter for Kennedy. And a swing and a miss. First strikeout of the game for Addison Elcombe. A swinging strike that'll retire the first Kennedy batter. Nice job by Elcombe to battle back from a 3-1 hole as the shortstop John Kern in there. And that pitch right down the middle for strike one. 7-inning game here at the high school level. That one also in there. Curveball on the outside edge for Elcombe. Quickly ahead 0-2, so 4 consecutive strikes for Elcombe. The 0-2 swung on and chopped to second. Owen Campbell up with it and an easy put out to first. And 2 away here in the Kennedy half of the first inning. That'll bring up Kyle Kenzemius for Kennedy, their left fielder. First right-handed batter for the Eagles here against the right-handed pitching Elcombe. Beautiful facility here on the east side of Bloomington. Perfect on a day like today where there could be rain in the forecast. So you got the grandstand covering most of the seats. Couple of rows not quite out of the elements, but everyone here able to be protected if there is rain, as that one slapped right back up the middle and a base hit for Kenzemius. So Jefferson with a hit in the first, or the top half of the first, and Kennedy counters with a base hit here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning, and that'll bring up the cleanup batter, Nico Lawnman, the first baseman. Be important to keep the baseballs dry here this afternoon. You see ball being exchanged right there. Still some moisture on the grass from the rain. I'm sure the ball picked up that moisture as it went through the infield. That one in there for a strike.
No, I'm just saying because the microphone was even hard to hear down there. You can't even hear.
Elcombe doing a nice job after a 3-ball count to the opening hitter, peppering in a lot of strikes here. This is the 0-1 hit foul and out of play down the right field line. Over to give it a look, Thompson, but he was kind of shading Lawnman to pull anyway. No chance to get over there in time. So Elcombe ahead 0-2 as he checks runner Kenzemius at first. Nice stop there by the catcher Carter Beck as he backhanded that one. Curveball in the dirt, 1-2. And this one hit on a hop to short. The flip to second. McCullough to Campbell, and Kennedy retired in the bottom half of the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We will go to the second, scoreless here in the Battle of Bloomington. Back for the top of the second and sending one into center field, Nick Getters for the second base hit for Jefferson. Getters is the left fielder. So a couple of singles here early on for Jefferson off of pitcher Anthony Shuddy. And for the second consecutive inning, the Jaguars have the leadoff man on, as that brings up Bennett McCullough. McCullough, the shortstop. Decent lead off of first for Getters. Remember, their leadoff hitter was thrown out at second as that one chopped foul off the leg of McCullough. Leadoff hitter in the first inning, Morris, thrown out at second trying to steal. So important to grab the lead here early. So important to get off to an early lead here in this 7-inning format. That one misses up high, 1-1. Especially now that we've gone an inning scoreless. First run will be even that much more important. Jefferson mentioned 8-5 this season, been able to get 13 games in. Kennedy has played 12. As he offered at that one, throw down to first, not in time. So 1-2. As McCullough missing on the bunt attempt here. There were only 6 runs scored in the first meeting between these two teams, so could be thinking runs are at a premium once again. 1-2 to McCullough, misses outside, 2-2. Jefferson with their leadoff man on for the second straight inning. The 2-2, nice stop back there by Cradle. We saw him throw at a runner back in the first inning, making a nice play there to save a base. But the count is full now to McCullough. We'll find out if anything's in play here with runner Getters over at first on this full count. And the pitch misses high, so Jefferson has the first 2 men on here in the second inning. First walk issued by either pitcher here in this one. So Zeke Krug steps up, 2 on, nobody out here in the top half of the second. Jefferson wearing the Columbia blue here this afternoon, Kennedy in the home white. First test here for Anthony Shuddy as they creep in to field a possible bunt. Cradle once again with a nice play to pick that one cleanly. Jefferson has Carter Hansen on deck. They'd love to move these runners over with only 1 out at worst here with a bunt. Lonman creeping up from first. Krug squared away, or pulled the bat back, excuse me, but that pitch misses outside and now 2-0. The hitter's count here could be less likely to see a bunt in this situation. 2-0 delivery just outside, 3-0 now. Shuddy in danger of issuing back-to-back walks, which would fill the bases for Jefferson with nobody out. 3-0 delivery hits the corner for strike 1. It looked like Krug taking all the way there on that 3-0. Probably won't be taking all the way here on 3-1. As he squares to bunt, and that one hits the corner for strike 2. That'll fill up the count here. 2 on, nobody out in the home or in the visitor half of the second. Scoreless here at Red Haddocks. A leadoff single for Nick Getters, followed by a walk to Bennett McCullough. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Misses outside, so they're loaded with nobody out. Shuddy trying to hit that corner 3 straight times, but that one just a little bit further wide. So they're loaded, nobody out for Hansen. Jefferson threatening, certainly now here in the second inning, to take the lead. Corners in just a little bit as Hansen takes one, little chin music up and in. Kern and Jeans at short and second are a double play depth. Kennedy would love to trade a run for a double play here. That one outside, 2-0 to the designated hitter Carter Hansen. Carter back on deck for the Jaguars, as we're going to have a visit to the mound. Inning started with a single right back up the middle by Nick Getters, back-to-back walks. Issued McCullough and Krug. And now 2-0 to Carter Hansen. Glad you're with us here on your Monday afternoon, watching live on BEC-TV. We've also got live coverage of the Battle of Bloomington softball game going on, so you could check out both on multiple devices or flip back and forth if you'd like to here if you're watching us live. Otherwise, if you're watching the tape-delayed version, check out our website, BEC-TV.org. You can find out when you can watch that softball game over at Kelly Field, not too far from here. About a mile or so away from Red Haddocks. So great situation here for Jefferson. Loaded, nobody out. 2-0 count to Carter Hansen. Now 3-0. And I'd be shocked if this wasn't anything but a straight take all the way here at 3-0. Shuddy hits one in there for strike one, 3-1 to Carter Hansen. Outside, ball 4, and that'll force a run in. 3 consecutive walks by pitcher Shuddy, and Jefferson has the lead as Nick Getters trots across home plate, and they're still loaded with nobody out. Carter Beck stepping in with Thompson on deck. Still nobody out in the Jaguar second. That one in there for a strike. Shuddy trying to work ahead of a hitter here after 3 consecutive walks. That one in there for strike 2. McCullough on third, Krug on second, Hansen on first for the Jaguars. 0-2 to Beck, misses low, 1-2. And a chopper to short. Could be 2 if they hurry. The flip to second, over to first, not in time. Kennedy gets 1 out. And another run scores as McCullough comes home. And it's 2-0 Jefferson. So an RBI for Carter Beck. Hansen also getting an RBI on that bases loaded walk. And the Jaguars up by 2 here Runners on the corners in the top half of the second. And Matt Thompson. Not a big lead over at first by Hansen as the pitch misses up and away. To the right fielder for Jefferson, Matt Thompson. That one low, good block by Cradle to potentially save a run, 2-0. Top of the order due up next for the Jaguars and Quentin Morris. The 2-0, chopper foul. Two and one, 2 runs across here for the Jaguars in the second on just one hit. 3 walks issued in the inning by starting pitcher Anthony Shuddy, and not out of danger by any means yet. Runners on the corners, only 1 out. The 2-1. Great stop by Cradle, just lunging to his right to block that one. Another hitter's count here for the Jaguars. Three-one pitch, swing and a miss from Thompson, another full count. Upstairs, ball 4, and they're loaded once again. The fourth walk of the inning. As Thompson now down to first. Hansen over at third. Carter Beck going down to second. And they're loaded for the leadoff man, Quentin Morris, who singled to start the game. And infielders in right now. Another good block by Cradle. With the speed of the leadoff hitter Morris, less likely to turn a double play here, so Kennedy's going to try to cut down the runner at home on a potential ground ball. Morris takes it high, 2-0. Activity already in the Kennedy bullpen over to the left, to my left. 2-0 delivery, misses wide, 3-0. You have to wonder already with a visit to the mound, this could be the last batter for Shuddy if he, especially with another walk, it would be the 5th of the inning. Catcher Cradle out to talk to Shuddy here. Three and 0 with the bases loaded, 1 out to Morris. And it misses outside. 4-pitch walk to Morris, and Jefferson now leads 3-0 as Hansen comes in to score, and this might be it for Shuddy as predicted. And that will be it for starting pitcher Anthony Shuddy for Kennedy. So he's line not completely done yet, but lasts just an inning and a third here this afternoon. Currently 3 runs all earned, 2 Jefferson hits and 5 walks, with still 3 more base runners responsible to Shuddy out there for the Jaguars. And we'll have a pitching change. We'll be back in just a minute here, Red Haddocks Field. Jefferson leading Kennedy here in the top half of the second, 3-0. Back at Red Haddocks Field, top half of the second, still only one out. Jefferson already with 3 runs in. They have the bases loaded. And a new pitcher for Kennedy is Justin Ekholm. He's ahead now 0-2 to Owen Campbell for the Jaguars. Campbell popped out back in the first over to first base. Has a chance to really break this one open here as Ekholm works from the stretch with the bases loaded. And it's slap foul, still 0-2. The Jaguar pitcher Addison Elcombe on deck. For the Jaguars, just 1 hit in the inning, but 5 walks issued by Anthony Schutte, and his day is done after just an inning and a third. That one low, 1-2. Nick Getters started this inning with the only hit of the inning back up the middle. Breaking ball to Campbell, hit into the air, shallow right field. Going back out there is Jeans, the second baseman. He has it for out number 2. That's a big out for Ekholm, as no runners could move there. And Elcombe steps to the plate with them loaded in 2 outs. And that one in there, so Ekholm doing a nice job to work ahead here in relief. Big breaking ball, but missing inside there is Ekholm, 1-1. Kennedy trying to leave Jefferson with the bases loaded here in the second inning. Be a big couple of outs for Ekholm, as Elcombe hits it foul. 1-2. From the stretch, Justin Ekholm. Breaking ball inside. 2-2. Seen a steady diet of breaking balls here from Ekholm. Big pitch here at 2-2. Ekholm working quickly. And on a couple of bounces to second, Jeans over to first, and he's got the out for Kennedy. So a nice job by Justin Ekholm in relief of Anthony Schutte, getting the final 2 outs and leaving the bases loaded for Jefferson. But the Jaguars, thanks to a hit and 5 walks, score 3 runs. They left 3. We go to the bottom of the second. Jefferson 3, Kennedy 0 here. Battle of Bloomington at Red Haddocks Field. Back for the bottom half of the second, 3-0 Jefferson here on BEC-TV panel of Bloomington. As Elcombe, after a lengthy top half of the second inning, trots out for his second inning of work. And the Kennedy batter is Anthony Schutte. He'll be followed by Jeans and Devin Barnum here in the Kennedy second. Swing and a miss from Schutte, and the second strikeout for Addison Elcombe. So the pitching day is done for Schutte as he goes with an inning and a third, 2 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 5 walks, no strikeouts. Ground ball to second, and Owen Campbell over to first, quickly 2 away in the Kennedy second. And now Devin Barnum, the designated hitter. That one missing inside, 1-0. Jonah Smallfield on deck, the right fielder for Kennedy. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Eagles trying to get something started, trailing 3-0. Kennedy at 3-9 this season. They have wins, 2 of them coming here against Robbinsdale Cooper, but 2 in conference, Richfield and Chaska, also victories for Kennedy. All 3 of those actually in the Metro West. The Jaguars have also beaten Cooper twice, part of their 8 wins. 3-0 is that one in there for a strike to Barnum. (3-1) misses outside, so the first walk issued by Elcombe as Barnum trots down to first. Kennedy a base runner here with 2 outs in the second. Jonah Smallfield will be followed by the catcher Ben Cradle, bottom of the order for Kennedy. At the knees for strike 1. Jefferson 8-5, but the Jaguars have lost 4 of their last 7 after a hot start. Outside 1-1. The Jaguars coming off of a 6-5 win against Holy Angels last Thursday. Kennedy dropping a tough one to Henry Sibley 10-8 last week as well. This one looped into right center for a hit. Barnum checks in at second, as that actually got by Thompson. Morris over there, though, quickly to pick it up. So Barnum stops at second. It's the second Kennedy hit. And the Eagles 2 on and 2 out here in the second. See if the Eagles can start chipping away at this 3-0 lead. Top of the order due up next in Lopez. After a strikeout and a ground out, a walk, and then a single for Kennedy here in the second. And a nice block by Carter Beck to keep both runners right there. Outfield not terribly deep here. Barnum a decent lead off a second, fouled straight back, 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Ben Cradle, the catcher for Kennedy, 2 on and 2 out. The 2-1 hit foul down the third base line, 2-2. Key spot here for Kennedy early in this game, trailing by 3. And it skips by the catcher Beck. Both runners are going to move up, and now a full count. So a hit could score 2 here for Cradle. Full count offering as Elcombe will work from the windup here. And it misses high and inside, and they're loaded up for Kennedy here in the second. All of this coming with 2 outs for the Eagles. 2 walks and a single to right center. And now their leadoff batter, Lopez, coming to the plate, and we have our first Jefferson visit to the mound. Another look at that wild pitch. Skipped by Carter Beck. Really didn't factor in any way as the batter Cradle was walked, but bases loaded now for the Eagles. Lopez struck out to lead off the first for Kennedy. Can do some damage here with Kennedy trailing by 3. That one just low. 1-0. Beck trying to frame that one up as best he can. Lopez takes it inside, 2-0. So walks certainly hurt Kennedy in the top half of the second, and they're doing the same now to Jefferson. 2 walks and now a 2-0 count to Lopez. That one in there for a strike. And 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Here's your hitter's count for leadoff man Gilbert Lopez with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The 3-1 hit towards second. Campbell, slow roller, but has time. And they get Lopez to strand all 3 runners to end the Kennedy second. The Eagles mount a threat thanks to 2 walks and a hit, but they leave them loaded. We go to the top half of the third. Jefferson continuing to lead 3-0. Back at Red Haddocks Field, top of the third, Jefferson leading 3-0. All 3 runs scored back in the second. Jefferson trying for their 9th win of the season against 5 defeats. Kennedy trying to even the Battle of Bloomington at a game apiece. Remember, Jefferson won the earlier matchup 4-2. For his second inning of duty, Ekholm, he came in relief of Anthony Schutte and did a nice job. He came in with the bases loaded and 1 out in the second inning and retired both Jaguar batters without surrendering a run. Pitch misses upstairs, 2-0 to the leadoff man, Nick Getters. He also led off the second and provided the only hit of the inning for the Jaguars, despite scoring 3 runs. One of 2 Jaguar hits, both teams with 2 hits through 2 innings. Ekholm missing wide, 3-0. And that one on the corner for a strike, 3-1 to Getters. It'll be Getters, followed by McCullough and Krug here in the Jaguar third. The 3-1 in there for a strike, 3-2 now. As Justin Ekholm battles back. Of course, we saw Ekholm all winter long on the ice for Kennedy. A full count pitch. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. The first strikeout for Ekholm, and he battles back from a 3-0 hole. 1 away in the Jaguar third. And Bennett McCullough takes that one inside, 1-0. Rain currently falling outside. Most of the fans moving up into about the third row or so here underneath the grandstand. And that one inside, just missing the helmet of McCullough, 3-0. So more important now to keep those baseballs as dry as possible. Fairly steady rain happening right now as well. The 3-0 misses again, 4-pitch walk as McCullough is aboard with 1 out in the Jaguar third. So I'm just taking a quick look at the forecast here on my phone. It does not look good here, at least for the next bit. Should be pretty consistent rain if this radar is correct. Falling here for, I would say, at least the next hour. As this one's hit to third, nice backhanded play by Vanderbeek, and a strong throw to first. Caleb Vanderbeek with a nice play. And 2 down in the Jaguar third, moving up to second, base runner McCullough. Best defensive play so far for either team turned in right there. Carter Hansen issued a walk, which scored a run back in the second. That was the first Jaguar run. McCullough on second with 2 down. And chopped foul toward the Jaguar bench. Temperatures also not heating up too much here with the rain, currently in the mid-60s. And continuing to drop here with this threat of rain. Going to be pretty consistent here, maybe even for the rest of the game today. Of course, what everyone's looking to avoid is any lightning in the area, which would cause a delay. Here's the 2-1, hit deep to right field, but right at Jonah Smallfield, who makes the catch. Well hit there from Carter Hansen, but allowed out for the Jaguars, ending the top half of the third. No runs, no hits, one left. We go to the bottom of the third. Jefferson leading 3-0. So we're back here at Red Haddocks Field, and you're seeing the tarps come out, and we are currently under a weather delay. The rain just too heavy right now to continue. I don't believe any lightning was seen in the area, but the officials, and it's up to their discretion at that point whether they want to call it or not if there's not lightning present, and they deem that they want to stop play currently. So we are in a weather delay, and again, I'm just going to pull up that radar on my app here, and there is a pretty steady amount of green moving through the area, pretty much straight east through the Twin Cities metro, and I'm not sure there's going to be any relief here, at least for the next bit. So it could be a lengthy delay here at Red Haddocks. And I'm sure the same thing's happening just about a mile away at Kelly Fields, too, in the softball game. So stick around, keep us up on your phone or tablet, computer, whatever you're watching, or television on, and we'll still be here during this weather delay. We'll sign off for now, but we'll keep the crew rolling. But we currently are in a weather delay, ready to start the bottom. Not ready, but when we resume play, we'll be starting the bottom of the third. Jefferson leading the Battle of Bloomington 3-0 on BEC-TV. Red Haddocks Field here on the east side of Bloomington. The Battle of Bloomington continued. This is a continuation of yesterday's game, which was postponed due to rain. As Jefferson is in the field, we're in the bottom half of the third, 2 outs. Jefferson leading this game 3-0. We had the delay between the top half of the third and the bottom half of the third yesterday evening, and this is where we resume. And this one's hit into left down the line, fair. On his way to third is Nico Lonman. We'll see how far he can go, as getting up with it quickly and firing it in. Nick Getters, it's a double for Kennedy, and they have runners on second and third with 2 outs. This inning started with a fly out to left field by John Kern, and then a ground out to second baseman Owen Campbell by Kyle Konzemius. Then Nico Lonman looped one into left center field for a single, and you just saw the double by Anthony Schutte, and that gives Kennedy a chance to cut into this lead at 3-0 with 2 outs. Joe Jeans is the batter, and the first extra base hit for either team today. That double, or not just today, in this game, I should clarify, by Schutte right there as Jeans swings and misses, and pitcher Carter Hansen quickly ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Hansen taking over for Addison Elcombe, who pitched yesterday in this game. Elcombe over at first right now. That one just misses, 1-2. And here's the 1-2 to Jeans. Breaking ball, strike three as Jeans is frozen. And working out of the jam, Carter Hansen. Two more stranded there for Kennedy. Remember in yesterday's second inning, they left the bases loaded. So we will go to the top half of the fourth with Jefferson leading this continuation of the Battle of Bloomington 3-0. Back for the top half of the fourth, 3-0 Jefferson. Battle of Bloomington here live on BEC-TV. Continuation of yesterday's game, which was postponed due to the rain we received in the area. Between yesterday's game and today, Kennedy has already picked up a win. They defeated Richfield earlier this afternoon, 4-1. So Kennedy now 4-9 on the season. Jefferson at 8-5 on the year. Remember, the Jaguars beat Kennedy earlier in the season by a score of 4-2. That one just low. 3-1 to Carter Beck for Jefferson. It'll be Beck followed by Thompson here in the top half of the fourth. And that one in there, strike two. Justin Ekholm is the pitcher for Kennedy. Remember, he took over yesterday for starter Anthony Schutte and did a nice job getting Kennedy out of a bases-loaded jam when he came in with only one out. He issues a walk, however, to start the fourth, and that has been a bit of a problem for Kennedy in this game. All the bases on balls. Schutte had 5 of them, and now that's the second issued by Ekholm, so 7 walks in all issued by the Kennedy pitching staff here in 3 innings of work. And that's the reason they trail in this game. They're out hitting Jefferson by a count of 4-2, but behind in runs 3-0. Foul by Thompson off the glove of catcher Ben Cradle. Defensively for Kennedy, Kyle Kenzemius out in left, Gilbert Lopez in center, Jonah Smallfield in right. The third baseman is Caleb Vanderbeek. John Kern is at short. Joe Jeans is over at second. Nico Lonman at first. And a bunt popped straight back, but too far out of the reach of Cradle, who reacted pretty quickly to that one. 0-2 to Matt Thompson, who in his only other plate appearance in this game yesterday drew a walk in the second inning. Jefferson scoring all 3 of their runs in the second inning yesterday. Breaking ball misses low, 1-2. So a pretty steady diet of breaking balls off speed pitches from Ekholm yesterday in relief. Decent lead for Beck off of first, and Cradle throws down there. Carter Beck easily getting back. 2-2 now to Matt Thompson, right fielder for Jefferson. Perfect conditions today. And this one fouled back out of play. No threat of rain at all. Temperatures in the upper 70s today. A 2-2. This is high, full count, so Ekholm with another full count here to start the top half of the 4th. 7-inning game here in high school. This one hit back up the middle and off the glove of the center fielder Lopez. On his way to second and getting there, having to hold up for a bit, was Beck, but he does make it over to second in time. That should be scored as a hit, I would imagine. A tough play out there in center by Lopez. Well, they do have an error up on the board, so they are going to say an error on Lopez. So Thompson reaches on an E8, and Jefferson has runners at first and second, nobody out. And the top of the order due up in Quinton Morris. He's 1 for 1 in this game with a single yesterday and a walk yesterday. One of just 2 Jefferson hits in this game, both singles. Nick Getters has the other hit. And he squares to bunt. The pitch misses outside. One and 0 to Quinton Morris, Owen Campbell, and followed by Addison Elcombe. And Nick Getters hitting 4th for Jefferson. Morris squares to bunt again, and again the pitch misses outside, 2-0. And a quick gathering in the infield. Carter Beck on second, Matt Thompson on first after a walk and an error. Glad you're with us this afternoon, live on BEC-TV, actually in the evening. So we started just before 6:30. Morris pulls the bat back and swings away, fouling it straight back, up and out of play. 2-1. Interesting decision there. As the infield was creeping in. We'll see if they do the same. Lonman over at first is already in the grass. Morris squares to bunt and lays one down. A nice bunt. He's got some speed. The throw to first in time. A nice play by Ben Cradle to hop on that one quickly and throw out the speedy Quinton Morris, but he does his job moving up Beck and Thompson to second and third, and with just 1 out in the inning, Jefferson threatening to extend the lead as Owen Campbell steps in. Ekholm worked out of a jam back in the second inning. As the original starter in this game, Schutte lasted just an inning and a third. Hit on the ground, past the diving John Kern into left. Beck comes in to score. Thompson will be held at third. 4-0 Jefferson on the first hit of the inning. A single to left for Owen Campbell, who picks up the RBI. Runners at the corners with only 1 out.
First baseman, number 21, Addison Elcombe.
And Elcombe in the 3 spot here. Chance to do some big-time damage. Followed by Getters and McCullough here in the Jaguar 4th. One away, so the infield hoping for a double play opportunity. Swing and lifted into center. Fairly deep. Lopez is back. This will be deep enough to score Thompson from third as he tags and scores. And it's 5-0 Jefferson. So a nice job there by Elcombe lifting that one into relatively deep center, deep enough to score the run. He picks up an RBI.
The left fielder, number 8.
Jefferson now up by 5. Jefferson doing the small things again in this inning, reaching on a walk, an error, a sacrifice bunt, a sacrifice fly, just one hit, but they have 2 more runs up on the board. Elcombe over at first with 2 outs for Getters as he slaps one to short. And the only play to first, and it is in time. A nice strong throw by Kern to retire Getters. But the Jaguars extend the lead. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We will go to the bottom of the 4th. Jefferson 5, Kennedy nothing.
Number 12, Devin Barnum.
Back at Red Haddocks Field for the bottom half of the 4th. Jefferson leading 5-0. The Jaguars 5 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Kennedy no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Josh Powers with you alongside our crew on BEC-TV. If you're still watching us live from earlier this afternoon, Kennedy trying to win 2 games in one day. They defeated Richfield earlier today 4-1 for their 4th win of the season. Jefferson trying for a Battle of Bloomington sweep here in 2018. It's that one in there for a strike. 1-1 the count to Devin Barnum, who reached on a walk yesterday in the 2nd inning. He'll be followed by Smallfield and Cradle here in the Kennedy 4th. Fouled back out of play, 1-2.
1-2.
Kennedy has recorded a hit in each of the first 3 innings, but they've stranded a total of 6 through those 3. That one misses high, 2-2. Carter Hansen in his 2nd inning of work. Addison Elcombe over at first base pitched the first 2 innings yesterday for Jefferson. We can go over his line, by the way. Elcombe, 2 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits for Addison Elcombe. A couple of strikeouts and a couple of walks as this one's lifted into left. Getters is right there for out number 1. And in will
Now batting the right
step
fielder,
Jonah
number 18,
Smallfield.
Jonah Smallfield.
Smallfield lifts that one to the right side, out of play. The lefty Carter Hansen delivers in the dirt, 1-1. The defensive alignment for Jefferson, you've got Getters out in left, Morris in center, Thompson in right. Zeke Krug is over at third. Brennan McCullough at short, Owen Campbell at second, and Addison Elcombe over at first. Carter Beck is the catcher. 2-1 to Jonas Smallfield, trying to start a rally here in the Kennedy fourth. They did some damage last inning with 2 outs. Now 3-1. And that one misses low for ball 4, so Smallfield is aboard with a walk. And it'll be Ben Cradle, followed by the top of the order in Gilbert Lopez here for Kennedy, trying to start to chip away at this Jaguar lead.
That's where I have a problem, because it's happened, I know for sure, once. Playoff.
Well, it hits the inside corner for a strike. Hansen, a lefty, as compared to Elcombe, righty, yesterday.
Did you guys play? Yeah. What happened? 2 against.
Swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch in the dirt for Cradle, and it's 0-2. Smallfield, a reasonable lead off of first, but nothing too big as it's grounded to short. They go to second for 1, and not enough time to catch Cradle, who runs fairly well, and it wasn't an extremely sharp hit ground ball, but the Jaguars do cut down the lead runner, and there's 2 outs as Cradle reaches on a fielder's choice. And the top of the order in Gilbert Lopez stepping in. Lopez 0 for 2. He struck out to start the ball game in the bottom of the, at least in the Kennedy hitting portion of the game yesterday in the bottom of the first, and then grounded to second in the second inning. Smallfield on first with 2 away as they throw over. Smallfield not a huge lead, but Kennedy more likely to do something with 2 outs and him on first base. 1-0 to Lopez. That last walk to Smallfield was the 3rd walk issued of the game for the Jefferson pitching staff. The 1-0 misses high, 2-0. Cradle at first with 2 out. Quick delivery in there for strike 1, 2-1. John Kern, shortstop on deck for Kennedy. So they start their batting order with a couple of lefties. There goes the runner on a 2-1. It misses outside. The throw down in plenty of time. And caught stealing is Cradle, as one of the Kennedy coaches anyway with his hands in the air, perhaps acting as if that was supposed to be a hit and run. Cradle didn't get a great jump as he's thrown out at second to end the bottom half of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the top of the 5th. Jefferson continuing to lead 5-0.
For Jefferson, with the shortstop, number 12, Kenneth McConnell.
Back at Red Haddocks, top of the 5th. Battle of Bloomington. Jefferson leading by 5. Josh Powers with you on BEC-TV. Strike 1 is in to Bennett McCullough leading off the Jaguar 5th. He had 2 walks earlier in this game. Walked in the 2nd and in the 3rd yesterday, so has not recorded an official plate appearance in this game. 1-1. Justin Ekholm still out there for Kennedy. Two and 2/3 so far for Ekholm. Curve misses low. 2-1. McCullough followed by Krug and Carter Hansen here in the Jefferson 5th, leading by 5 on just 3 hits, but they have taken advantage of their opportunities in this game. 3-1. And it misses upstairs. The 8th walk issued by Kennedy pitchers here this yesterday afternoon and this evening.
The third baseman, number 1, Zeke Krug.
So Krug comes up with a runner on and nobody out here in the 5th. Krug is 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to 3rd. Ekholm, of course, from the stretch with the runner on. Pretty healthy lead over at first for McCullough. Squaring to bunt, laying it down is Krug. And the only play to first, and just in time the throw from Cradle, who waited a moment, checking to see if there was an option to maybe cut down lead runner McCullough, but he did fire it to first in time. And a sacrifice bunt, 2nd of the game for Jefferson, laid down by Krug. McCullough over to 2nd with 1 out.
5, Carter Hansen.
As Carter Hansen steps in. Hansen 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to right. Jefferson 5 runs on just 3 hits, but they've taken advantage of an error and 8 walks to score its runs. Just inside there, Ekholm, a little frustrated that he didn't get the call there. Hansen swings away and lifts it into center. Lopez moving in, and he's not going to be able to make the play. Strong throw to 3rd, though, but it's cut off by the shortstop, Kern. I think McCullough would have been able to slide in there anyway. But Hansen records the 4th Jaguar hit of the game. Runners on the corners with only 1 out for Carter Beck. Four hits for Jefferson, all singles. And a visit to the mound. No activity in the Kennedy bullpen. And neither on the other side for Jefferson, of course, with Hansen hitting there. Looks like he will come out to start the bottom of the 5th. But it does look like we're going to have a pitching change here for Kennedy. It's right fielder Smallfield jogging into the infield. And it looks like he's going to be the new pitcher for Kennedy. Mike McGaffey has checked in for Kennedy to replace Ekholm as McGaffey moved out into the outfield. It looks like he's going to be taking this place of Smallfield out in right. Of course, familiar with McGaffey, the quarterback on the football team. We'll take a short pause as Smallfield warms up and be back. Top half of the fifth, 1 out, runners on the corners, Jefferson leading 5-0. So back here, top of the fifth, Jefferson leading 5-0. Runners at the corners and only 1 out. New pitcher Jonah Smallfield delivers a strike to Carter Beck. Carter Hansen is over at first after a single to center. Bennett McCullough led off the inning with a walk, was sacrificed over to second by Zeke Krug, and currently at third base after that single by Hansen. Carter Beck 0 for 1 today. Runner Hansen goes from first, and he will take second on defensive indifference. There was not a throw down to second. So now second and third for the Jaguars with 1 out. Beck awaiting the delivery, and it is in there for a strike, 1-2. As Smallfield clips the corner there. Ekholm finishes his day pitching 3 complete innings. Still got a couple of base runners he's responsible for out there. The 1-2 to Beck. In there for a strike, and that should be strike 3, and it is. Not a very confident signal by the home plate umpire, but it was in fact strike 3. So a big strike out there to Beck.
Now batting the right fielder, number 10, Matt Thompson.
The third strikeout by Kennedy pitching staff today. And here's Matt Thompson with 2 on and 2 out, and he committed to that one. Be big to get out of this jam for Smallfield, much like Ekholm did when he took over back in the second inning yesterday, stranding the bases loaded with 1 out. Just low. Cradle trying to frame that one up. Thompson, remember, reached on that error by center fielder Lopez back in the 4th. That one also low, 2-1. Also came around to score back in the 4th. This one hit foul, 2-2. Big 2-2 pitch here to Matt Thompson with 2 on and 2 out in the 5th. Smallfield delivers, and it's hit, a looper, but caught by second baseman Jeans just off the end of the bat. Didn't quite have enough steam. So a nice job by Jonah Smallfield to get out of the jam with a strikeout, and that pop out to second. No runs for the Jaguars, 1 hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Jefferson in control, 5-0. Bottom of the 5th, Kennedy due up here, trailing 5-0. Jefferson 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Kennedy no runs, 4 hits, 1 error.
Gilbert Lopez.
Gilbert Lopez, top of the order. Remember, he was up when base runner Cradle got thrown out to end the 4th. So he will start with a brand new count here to start the 5th inning as that misses outside 1-0. Lopez followed by Kern and Kenzemius here, top of the order due up for Kennedy in the 5th. That one missing upstairs. Catcher Beck holding that one for a moment, perhaps thinking that it was a strike. 2-0 to Lopez. Diminutive guy, though, so he's got a little bit of a lower zone. That one clips the corner, 2-1. Final line is done pitching-wise for Justin Ekholm. 3 complete, 2 runs, both of them earned on 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Three and 1, meanwhile, to Lopez, trying to get on base to start the Kennedy 5th. As he hits it in foul territory behind third. A long run for shortstop McCullough, and he can't quite get there. Good effort, though. Saw that one fairly well. The sun here at Red Haddocks directly behind home plate, maybe a little bit off to the first base side. So McCullough was kind of looking back toward the sun on that run. 3-2 to Lopez. Up high and a walk to Lopez to start the Kennedy 5th, and that's what they need, base runners at this point. So Lopez now
number 11,
0 for 2. Kern steps in. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out in the first and flew out to left in the third. Lopez has got pretty good speed. We'll see if Kennedy puts him in motion here. That one right down the middle for a strike. They throw down to keep Lopez in check. Carter Hansen beginning his 3rd inning of work. This one chopped to short. McCullough up with it. Over to Campbell on to first and a double play. 6-4-3. First double play of the game. And quickly 2 down in the 5th. Nice turnover at second by Campbell, who got rid of it fairly quickly.
Now batting the left fielder, number 15, Kyle Kenzemius.
So Kenzemius comes up with 2 outs and nobody on. Kenzemius has one of the 4 Kennedy hits with a single back in the first. Then grounded out to second, back in the third, 1-4-2. The 1-0 clips his right leg, or his left leg, excuse me. So Kenzemius trots down to first. And if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's a pretty good location. It almost sounded like it just barely grazed his leg or maybe even the jersey.
Number 19, Nico Bowman.
Another look at that nifty double play for the Jaguars. Watch Campbell quickly up with it and turn it. Nice turn by Campbell to complete the double play. Key double play for the Jaguars. That one misses to Nico Lonman with Kenzemius at first and 2 out. And a visit to the mound to check on Hansen. Again, no activity in the Jaguar bullpen, on either side anyway, either bullpen. Lonman also 1 for 2 in this game, grounded out in the first and singled back in the third, got as far as third base. That one in there for a strike, 1-1. 5-0 Jefferson. 2 runs in the third, 3 runs in the second, 2 more in the fourth. And that one skips by catcher Beck up to second. Base runner Kenzemius, so Kennedy gets that runner in scoring position with 2 outs as the count now 2-1. Sure, you get a pretty healthy lead here, no one holding him on at second. From the stretch, Hansen inside and to Lonman and taking off for third. Alert base running there by Kenzemius, now just 90 feet away. Gets a little fist bump from the third base coach. Quick reaction there, but the right decision from Kenzemius to take advantage. Meanwhile, the count 3-1 to Lonman, and that's in the dirt for ball 4. So Kennedy once again getting things going here with 2 outs in an inning. And now we see activity in the Jaguar bullpen. As that misses. That was the one that got all the way back to the backstop behind Beck. Runners at the corners now for Kennedy. 2 walks and a hit batsman here in the 5th for Kennedy to get these base runners. 2 outs as Kern grounded into a double play earlier. Now a big spot for Schutte. Schutte 1 for 2, a strikeout, and the only extra base hit of the game, a double to left field. Kennedy would love another extra base hit from Schutte. Upstairs, 1-0. Joe Jeans is on deck. 5-0 Jefferson. Kennedy trying to score its first run here in the 5th. And they might do it right here as it gets by Beck. In to score is base runner Kenzemius. So a nice job by Kenzemius taking advantage of some Jefferson mistakes, moving up to second and then to third, and then scores on a wild pitch. Now 5-1, moving up to second. Lonman in scoring position. Schutte, big rip at that one on a 2-0. That's the kind of aggressive swing you want to put on one on a hitter's count like that. Here's the 2-1, and that hit him. Schutte looks to be perfectly okay as he trots down to first. There's the wild pitch that scored Kenzemius for Kennedy's first run. And that might be it for Carter Hansen. Kennedy kind of turning the tables on what Jefferson has done earlier in this game in this inning. 2 runners on, 1 already in, with 2 outs without the benefit of a hit. 2 batters hit by a pitch and 2 walks. Jefferson will send in their 3rd pitcher of record in this game. And the new pitcher is Ryan Adams, number 9 for Jefferson. So Carter Hansen goes for 2 2/3 innings. Surrendering so far 1 run on 2 hits.
Ron is trying to tell me that hot dogs are still half price. You better listen or else he's going to keep yelling.
Hansen issuing 3 walks and 1 strikeout. And still responsible for both base runners, as Kennedy really could get back into this game. 2 on, 2 out, trailing by 4. Joe Jeans is the batter, 0 for 2. A grounder to second and a strikeout. Ryan Adams will potentially try to take Jefferson home in this game.
Joe Jeans.
Jeans with Barnum on deck here in the Kennedy 5th. 1 run in on 2 walks and 2 batters hit by a pitch. We've had a couple of wild pitches, one of which scored
Now pitching for
Kyle
Jefferson,
Kenzemius from 3rd.
number 9, Ryan Adams.
Hansen, by the way, did not stay in the game, so he is on the bench. Same defensive lineup for the Jaguars. Big spot for Jeans, 2 on, 2 out. And ahead in the count, 1-0. Now 2-0. Barnum on deck. That one in there for a strike, 2-1. Ryan Adams, right-handed pitcher for Jefferson from the stretch. 2-1, chopped between first and second. Nice pickup by Alcombe. Adams covering, and he finds the base for the out. He was looking for it over there and stumbled a bit, but did get part of that foot on the base. And a nice defensive play for the Jaguars ends the bottom of the 5th for Kennedy, but the Eagles score 1 run on no hits, 2 left. We go to the 6th, 5-1 Jefferson. Back at Red Haddocks Field, top half of the sixth on a beautiful Tuesday evening, 5-1 Jefferson. You saw that replay of that third out that ended the fifth. A nice defensive play you had to pick up by Elcombe on a backhand over at first, and then you saw Ryan Adams. Normally you'd hit that first base with his right foot. He missed the base, but then as he was stumbling, found the base with that left foot. A good call by the home plate umpire, as the base umpire was in the cutout area. So a nice play all around as Adams was able to find the base. A little unorthodox, but got it done with that left foot. Good job by our crew slowing that one down for you as well.
The center fielder, number 13, Quinton Morris.
So top of the order for the Jaguars here in the sixth. It'll be Morris followed by Campbell and Elcombe. Jonah Smallfield on the mound for Kennedy. Did a nice job last inning in relief of Ekholm, and he starts the sixth with a strike. So the final line for Carter Hansen, 2 2/3 innings pitched, as that one wildly misses. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and 3 walks. Smallfield delivers, hit sharply up the middle, over his jeans, but he couldn't field it cleanly. And aboard is leadoff hitter Morris, and that one will be an error. No doubt about that one. E4, second error of the game for Kennedy.
The second baseman, Owen Campbell.
And in steps Owen Campbell. Campbell is 1 for 3. 2 pop-outs into the infield, but a single back in the fourth. Healthy lead for Morris, who continues to stagger off of first. In there for a strike. Jefferson up 4 here in the late stages. Remember, just 7 innings at the high school level, so you could see them try to attack on an insurance run here. Done a nice job of moving base runners around. They've had a couple of sacrifice bunts. We had a sacrifice fly for Jefferson back in the fourth, excuse me. Smallfield steps off the mound. Keeping a close check on Morris, one of the quicker Jaguars over at first. The 0-1, Morris goes. The pitch low, the throw, not in time. Morris a stolen base. He got a really good jump on that one, did Morris. It was a good throw by Cradle, but Morris just got that great jump and took advantage. A stolen base. So he's at second with nobody out, and now much more likely to see a bunt here from Campbell. Campbell will swing away, but that pitch upstairs, 2-1.
Kick your shoe in the mirror.
Now 3-1 with Elcombe on deck here in the top half of the sixth. Jefferson, 5 runs on 4 hits. And no errors here in this one. The 3-1 Foul tip into the glove of Cradle, so a full count. So full count. Swung on and missed. A strikeout for Jonah Smallfield.
The first baseman.
Take another look at that
Madison
stolen base
Elko.
by Morris. Watch the jump here that he gets. And it's not the quickest delivery to home from the stretch there either by Smallfield, and easily down to second in time, Morris. So one on, one out, and that one in there to Elcombe. A hit to the outfield could score Morris from second. Big lead, and there he goes, Morris. Swung on and missed. The throw to third, not in time. That was all Morris right there. He noticed that Smallfield wasn't paying him any attention and kind of stutter stepped toward third before finally committing, and the second stolen base for Morris. So again, Jefferson doing the small things here to move runners over, and he's 90 feet away with less than 2 outs. The 0-2 to Elcombe. That one, nice partial block there by Cradle. He got enough of it to keep it within distance. Watch Morris here on that second steal. Try to get you that replay. Watch him kind of stutter step here. He'll take a couple of steps and then he'll finally go, but he was off second so far already that even with the, see that throw was pretty well placed right there, but Morris easily in time to get his second stolen base of the inning. The 1-2 smacked out to right, but twisting foul. Elcombe in there at the plate. Remember, he started the game on the mound for Jefferson yesterday, throwing the first 2 innings. The 1-2 from Smallfield. Elcombe lays off of the breaking ball, 2-2. Swung on and missed on a 2-2. So back-to-back strikeouts for Smallfield. And that'll bring up Getters with 2 outs.
The left fielder, number 8, Nick Getters.
Second strikeout for Smallfield and the 4th by Kennedy pitchers in this game. So Getters 1 for 3 so far. Takes a breaking ball up high. He singled back in the second and came around to score. Then struck out looking in the third and grounded to short to end the 4th. The 1-0 to Getters. In the direction of Joe Jeans for out number 3. Smallfield works out of the jam thanks to a couple of strikeouts. And even with a couple of stolen bases, Jefferson unable to further stretch the lead. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. To the bottom of the 6th we go, 5-1 Jefferson. Back at Red Haddocks, bottom of the 6th here on
Leading off for the
BEC-TV.
Eagles.
Battle of Bloomington. Jefferson trying for a sweep. They lead 5-1. Josh Powers alongside our crew. The Jaguars 3 runs in the 2nd, 2 more in the 4th. Kennedy scored its only run back in the 5th. Both teams have 4 hits. The difference though in this one, 8 walks issued by Kennedy and 2 errors, and the Jaguars have taken advantage. The Eagles have also left 8 runners on base when they've had some opportunities, thanks to some control issues from Jefferson, particularly back in the 5th, where Kennedy had 2 walks and 2 batters hit by a pitch. It'll be Barnum, followed by McGaffey and Cradle here in the bottom of the 6th. It's in there, 2-1. Barnum 0 for 1, a walk and a fly out to left. Foul tip, 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Up high, full count to start the 6th. And Barnum laces it up the middle, and it's going to drop for a hit. In front of Quentin Morris, the 5th Kennedy hit, and the leadoff man on in the 6th. And we're going to
Now batting
have
for the Eagles.
Jonah
The pitcher,
Smallfield.
number 18, Jonah Smallfield.
Correction, not McGaffey. Smallfield, who is 1 for 1, a single and a walk.
I already said I'll contact Light, but he's in the middle of a playoff run right now. So there's nothing I'm not interrupting his playoff.
Kennedy now out hitting Jefferson 5-4. Nice block by Carter back, but trying to advance, and doing so is base runner Barnum on some quick thinking. So a nice job there by Barnum. Once you make that decision, do it quickly and confidently. That's what Barnum did, and it pays off for Kennedy as he's down now at 2nd. 1-0 to Smallfield. From the stretch, Ryan Adams, and this one's going to go back to the backstop, and moving up to 3rd is Barnum. So kind of like last inning, where he had some bases on balls, wild pitches, hit by pitches. Kennedy doing it again here in the 6th. It's Barnum there taking 2nd, and now at 3rd with nobody out. 2-0. Make it 2-1 now to Jonah Smallfield. Ryan Adams from the stretch. That's in there, 2-2, and the Kennedy faithful not liking that decision by the home plate umpire. Jefferson infield at normal depth. They'll surrender the run here up 4. And it's not going to matter. This one's going to be through up the middle for a hit for Smallfield. And Kennedy closes the gap, now 5-2. Back-to-back singles to start the 6th. And Smallfield now has reached in all 3 plate appearances, as he's 2 for 2 today, and Ben Cradle steps in.
The courtesy runner is number 22, Michael Flanagan, now batting.
As Kennedy's going to get a courtesy
The
runner
catcher,
for
number 10,
pitcher
Ben
Smallfield.
Cradle.
Nice piece of hitting here by Smallfield, going right back up the middle to get the RBI, is scoring easily, of course, from 3rd base, Devin Barnum. And credit Smallfield with the RBI. And another visit to the mound. There's more activity in the Jaguar bullpen. Things starting to get tighter for the Jaguars at 5-2. And it appears the pitching day is done for Ryan Adams. He records just one out in this game as you see another look at that single up the middle for Smallfield. Adams recording just one out officially, but it was a big one as it ended a threat for Kennedy back in the 5th. And he's responsible for base runner Smallfield at first, giving up 2 runs or 2 hits and 1 run so far. No walks, no strikeouts. And the new Jaguar pitcher is number 4, Mike Evans. Son, of course, of basketball coach Jeff Evans. I saw his dad here last night, and his grandpa Jack was here as well. I don't know if I can see them. I'm assuming they're probably here today, but didn't see them last night.
Number 4, Mike Evans.
So Evans becomes the 4th pitcher for Jefferson in this game. There's the line. Jefferson 5 runs on 4 hits. Kennedy 2 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors. But plenty of time to get back in this one and even the Battle of Bloomington at a game apiece so far this season. Back-to-back singles to start the 6th. First by Barnum, who advanced to 2nd on a wild pitch, and then over to 3rd on a wild pitch. And came in to score on the single by Jonas Smallfield. And now Ben Cradle with Smallfield at first and nobody out. Cradle 0 for 1. A walk and a fielder's choice. It's also thrown out at 2nd, trying to steal. That ended the 4th. Squares to bunt. Nice stop by Beck. 1-1. Correction, not Smallfield at first. Of course, he had the courtesy runner come in for him. As they throw down to first. 1-1 to Ben Cradle. As he squares and tries to lay one down, but it's foul. Now 1-2, so the bunt possibility taken away, you would think. Top of the order coming up for Kennedy. So important here at bat for Cradle. If he could reach, Kennedy would start the top of the order, and the tying run would step to the plate with nobody out. 1-2. Back hammers one into left, but twisting foul. Beck putting a good move on that one. Another 1-2. And chopped up the middle, could be 2 again. Instead, they'll just get the 1 out. So Cradle retired. Moving up to second is the courtesy runner for Smallfield, and there's one away here in the 6th.
Now batting the center fielder, number 1, Gilbert Lopez.
Thought McCullough was going to try for another 6-4-3 double play, but decided just to take the sure out. Lopez stepping in, 0 for 2 with a walk as he swings and lifts one into shallow left. Coming in a couple of steps is Getters right there to make the play. That's where you're battling the sun at this point in the game. Looking right into the sun was Getters, but comes up with a 2 down now.
Number 11, John Kern.
So Kern comes up with 2 outs here in the 6th. Kern is 0 for 3. 2 ground outs, one of which was a double play and a fly out to Getters. There you see him with the glove and the sunglasses. That's when you know the sun's a factor. Sunglasses aren't enough. You still need to put the mitt up there to help.
You got it, John.
Evans starts this at bat with a strike. Kern swings and lines it into left center, and this will be enough to score the runner from second as Kern checks in with a single and an RBI and moves up to second as no one was over there. That gets the Kennedy crowd fired up. So a 2-0 RBI single for John Kern. The inning stays alive, and it's now 5-3.
Now batting the left fielder, number 15, Kyle Kenzemius.
The 7th Kennedy hit. And now Kenzemius.
Hey, Kyle, do that same thing, kid. Let's go.
He's 1 for 1, a single, a grounder to second, and he was hit by a pitch last inning. Kern off a second. Beck smothers that one, 1-0. Nico Lonman on deck. Kern the tying run here, getting late in this one in the 6th. In their first strike, 1-1. Mike Evans, the 4th Jaguar pitcher of record in this one, has recorded both outs in this inning. So 1-1, low, 2-1. Kennedy was down 5-0 before, 1 run in the 5th and 2 more here in the 6th. Now 3-1, Kern chased back, and they did not get him. And I'm looking right now, I only see one umpire. As that misses, now ball 4. Normally there are 2 umpires out there, and the field ump would be right there to make that call. That is certainly a much tougher call for a home plate umpire. As normally you'd have, right where over the shoulder of Evans, you'd have that field umpire. Let's take another look at that one. Very close. And with all the dirt there too, that base is partially covered. Hard to see. This one hit into center. On the run, a catch by Morris. Now he dropped it. 1 run scored. And Kennedy has tied it. I thought Morris had the ball. He did not. It's going to be a double for Kenzemius, and Kennedy has come all the way back. It's 5-5. So how about that for the Eagles?
Now batting for the Eagles, number 24, Anthony Schutte.
That'll bring up Schutte. A 2 RBI double for Nico Lonman. And it's 5-5. Second hit for Lonman. And now he's the potential go-ahead run at second for Schutte. Schutte chops one foul down the third base line. Another look at that two-run double. My apologies, as I thought it was caught by Morris. Breaking ball, nice pitch from Evans. 1-2. So that one freezes Schutte. 5-5 game. Schutte stays alive as he got a piece of that one. 1-2. This inning started with back-to-back singles by Barnum and Smallfield. Barnum scoring on that second single after advancing to second and third on wild pitches. Kern kept the inning going with a single, then advanced to second. And now Schutte into deep left. Will it stay fair? No, it's foul. Would have given Kennedy the lead, but just spinning foul by a few feet. Here's another look at the game-tying two-out double from Nico Landman. And Morris, he got a good jump on this one of the fastest Jaguars, as this one twisted over into right center, and you see just off his glove, a good effort, as Schutte fouls off another one. Good at bat here from Schutte. Really making Evans work. And I think correctly ruled a hit there. That'd be a tough error on the part of Morris. Kennedy now 8 hits, doubling up the Jaguars in hits. Now trying to take the leads. Schutte fouls off another one. Right side. He's the 8th batter of this inning. Kennedy 1 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th to tie this after being down by 5. Schutte can give the Eagles the lead, potentially, as he pops this one, hoping it twists out of play. Krug over for a look, and he can't locate it. Again, the sun kind of could have played a factor in that one. As Krug kind of looking back toward the sun in that direction. Another 2-strike pitch, Schutte into left, but over for the catch as Getters to record the final out in the bottom of the 6th. But what an inning for Kennedy. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 left. The Eagles have come all the way back. We go to the 7th, 5-5. From earlier today, Kennedy has already picked up 1 win against Richfield. As the Eagles getting it done. A nice play at the plate there to just squeeze in a run on a nice slide. That looked like it was Justin Ekholm. And then the Eagles would score again. Joe Jeans lifting that one into center. to plate another Kennedy run on a sacrifice fly, scoring from third, John Kern. And the Eagles eventually winning 4-1. Nice defensive play at second. The great snag by Joe Jeans right there. And the Eagles picking up their 4th win of the season against the border rival. And back live here, top of the 7th in a 5-5 game. Jefferson in a 1-2 count to Bennett McCullough, and that one just missing 2-2. It'll be McCullough followed by Krug and Hansen, at least scheduled here in the Jefferson 7th. McCullough calling time. And the 2-2. Upstairs, a full count. Jonah Smallfield starts out the 7th on the mound for Kennedy. Part of that big 4-run 6th for the Eagles to tie it. Jefferson would love to get the leadoff runner on here in the 7th. Full count pitch, swung on, fouled straight back. Jefferson was leading 5-0. They scored 3 runs yesterday. This game postponed due to rain last night. That happened following the top of the 3rd. We resumed play. Jefferson 2 more in the 4th. As this one hit into deep center field. Lopez is back there though and has the catch for out number 1. A well-hit ball by McCullough. But 1 up and 1 down in the Jaguar 7th.
Now batting the third baseman, number 1, Zeke Krug.
As Krug steps in to complete the thought. Jefferson scored 2 more in the 4th. At that point, they led 5-0. It was still 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Kennedy scratched across a run thanks to some good base running.
You got it, Jonah.
And then 4 more in the 6th with 4 runs, including that 2-run double. Krug lifts it over short. This is going to be trouble and falls in behind Kern for a hit. So a bloop single to get things started for the Jaguars in the 7th by Krug, who's now 1 for 3. And that's the 5th Jaguar hit.
Number 4, the pitcher, Mike
All
Evans.
singles for the Jaguars by 5 different players here in this game. As Mike Evans replaces Hansen in the lineup. His first plate appearance of the game. Carter back on deck. 1 out in the top of the 7th.
You got it, Jonah.
Krug away from first. Smallfield looking over there pretty intently, but he'll deliver. Outside for a ball. Krug off first even more here. This one hit foul out of play. 1-1 to Mike Evans. Smallfield really looking over at Krug over at first. He'll deliver, and it's outside, 2-1. Back on deck, and then Thompson, the scheduled hitters for the Jaguars, and there's your situation here in the top of the 7th. Remember, 7 innings only in high school. In there for a strike, 2-2. Eagles would love to retire 2 more hitters and have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2. Evans slashes one into center, and it's down for a single. Moving over to third is Krug, and he'll advance to third as Evans takes a wide turn off of first, but that was because first baseman Lonman was in the cutout area waiting a potential throw. Evans a single, runners at the corners, one out for the Jaguars here in the 7th. And now Carter back
Now batting the catcher, number
with
23,
all sorts of possibilities
Carter
in play right now for the Jaguars. And a trip to the mound here, no activity in the bullpen. I think this is just to talk through this situation, all of the different possibilities with Evans potentially trying to go to second. What do you do in that instance? Krug pretty fleet of foot over there at third. Bunt certainly could be in play, possibly could have a suicide squeeze or something of that nature as well. Jefferson trying to scratch across a go-ahead run here in the top half of the 7th. Carter back is 0 for 2 today with a walk. Grounded to short in the 2nd, struck out looking back in the 5th. Jefferson defeated Kennedy earlier this season 4-2, and this one going right down to the wire here, tied up in the 7th. Kennedy erasing a 5-run deficit in this game. Carter back facing Jonah Smallfield. There goes Evans, and they'll throw down. Breaking for home is Kern, and he's going to be cut down! Kennedy throws him out at home, and the game's still tied. So that visit to the mound certainly helped right there. The Eagles, they were all on the same page. Cradle applying the tag. And I believe it was Jeans on the throw. We'll see if we can get another look at that one. Both he and Kern went over. Evans, meanwhile, did move up to second, obviously, so he's still in scoring position. And I think the issue now is, was that a ball or a strike? And the official, the home plate umpire, signaling that it was a strike. Jefferson coaches, of course, upset with that one. Evans at second, 2 outs. As Krug thrown out at home, attempting to score the go-ahead run. Carter back the batter, 0-1. The delivery from Smallfield. Hit to short, Kern up with it, and the throw on target as Kennedy survives a Jaguar rally, and they will head to the bottom of the 7th with a chance to win it and to pay off a great comeback. We will go to the bottom of the 7th, all tied at 5. So you see the look at that replay there. Not only was base runner Krug certainly out at home, but you also saw the umpire signal that a strike. So all the fans in the stands thinking that that wasn't a strike, they missed it. And the correct decision was made by that home plate umpire as well. another look at the tail end. Great throw, and it was actually the shortstop, Kern, on that throw. And clearly, no doubt about that one, that was well in time to cut down the potential go-ahead run. Nice look by our crew to get some of these critical replays of this game down. That out at first that ended a Kennedy rally by Jefferson, that was correctly called, and then certainly that whole situation as well. Nice job by our home plate umpire, working solo on this one too, I might add, making it much more difficult. And I've been there working some solo games. You have a play down at second, and sometimes you have no idea what happened. You just have to try to do your best. So in any event, Kennedy 7th, a chance to win it. And it will start with a single to left. Joe Jeans with his first hit of the game. So the winning run at first base as Devin Barnum comes up. Kennedy was trailing 5-0 entering the bottom of the fifth. 1 in the fifth, 4 in the sixth. And now Barnum, 1 for 2, a walk, a single, and a fly out to left, and he will bunt. Just one play for Jefferson, and it's over to first to Elcombe. Devin Barnum retired, but he does his job on the sacrifice bunt. And the winning run, Joe Jeans, moves up to second.
Number 18, Jonah Smallfield.
And now Jonah Smallfield has had the hot bat here today. He's 2 for 2 with a walk and a chance to win it here for Kennedy. Jeans off second. Smallfield pops it straight up. Krug is calling for it, and he drops it. Smallfield aboard as Jeans, of course, had to stay right near second base. So the first error of the game for Jefferson on an E5, and again, you've got the third baseman looking straight into the sun right there.
The catcher, number 10, Ben Cradle.
So Cradle comes in. The base runner doesn't necessarily hurt Jefferson yet, but we'll see if it comes into play. Cradle 0 for 2 with a walk. And he pops it straight up in the air, and this will be caught. Infield fly rule was on as they throw down to second. Jeans just getting back. So now 2 outs in the inning. Hunter Day is the new pitcher for Jefferson in this inning, making the put out there. The 5th Jefferson pitcher in this game. And now 2 on, 2 out for Lopez. The winning run at second in the person of Joe Jeans. And it's laced down the third baseline. Jeans around third, and Kennedy wins it. A walk-off Battle of Bloomington win for the Eagles as Gilbert Lopez sends the home fans home happy. The celebration on for Kennedy, who stayed with this one. It took 2 days and a 5-run comeback, but worth the wait for the Eagles as they win 2 games today, defeating Richfield earlier 4-1. And how about this come from behind effort against the Jaguars, 6-5. Jeans scoring the winning run. Lopez, the game-winning RBI single for Kennedy, who yesterday at this time were 3-9, now 5-9. And Jefferson falling to 8-6, and the Eagles evening the season series at 1 game apiece. Jefferson taking the earlier matchup 4-2, but the Eagles, a gritty effort to come from behind in this one as Joe Jeans scores standing up for the walk-off win for Kennedy. And a great comeback by the Eagles today, staying with it, and some big-time memories for the team from the east side of Bloomington, who wins this one in style. And that'll wrap it up here from Red Haddocks Field. Great game between these teams. It came down to the end, and the Eagles come back from 5 down, win it in walk-off fashion, 6-5 for our crew. This is Josh Powers saying good night from Red Haddocks Field.
Wow.